If you were to tell me how I would have played in my first two matches, I definitely would have taken it. I scored really heavily in my opening two games.
I'm just pleased to be in the tournament, and form, it's just on the day really. If we all played to the top of our form every day, you'd have the same results every time. But it's not like that. One day you can play out your skin, and the next day you're not so good, and your opponent can.
In time, you do have to learn a B game. You do have to learn how to play good safety, because you can't always rely on just potting balls from lampshades all the time, which is the only way I used to play. I just used to go for everything. But to beat the top players when they play well, you've got to develop a safety game as well. And I think mine is just about as good as anyone's now.
I think he's probably the most improved player over the last 3 or 4 years. Won this world title, and he's worked on his tactical side of his game. He's become an all-round player, great curist, great temperament. So for me, he is the man that you're going to have to beat to win this title.
I can't really afford to have those kind of off sessions against the likes of Ronnie O'Sullivan, especially when it gets down to the quarter-final stages. Hopefully I can play a little bit better and progress through the quarters and make the semi-finals.
There's a long way to go. It's a long tournament. I believe anybody can win it.
Hello everyone. Yes, what a clash this promised to be between Neil Robertson and Ronnie O'Sullivan. Together, they've won 4 World Championships, 29 ranking titles and scored almost 900 centuries, and they're both very highly rated in today's modern game. So there was plenty of anticipation ahead of the opening session of their quarter-final match at this year's fr.17-23 World Championship. Robertson edged that 5-3. The second session took place early this afternoon. Here's what happened.
What an afternoon of snooker this could be.
It's got such a presence in the room. Now he's back level again. It's 5 each.
Nothing looks missable at the moment. Neil Robertson on the back foot, 8-5 down. Inch perfect? Do you know, I think it is. One of the cleanest pots he's hit all day. Couldn't have hit it better.
Ronnie O'Sullivan lead 9 frames to 7 going into tonight's final session.
Well, I've been joined by former world champion Ken Doherty. Ken, I suppose Neil Robertson did well to just be 2 frames down at the end of that session.
He did very well. He's still in the match, but I mean, O'Sullivan was in scintillating fashion in those first 6 frames. But Robertson hung on to his coattails. He's not going to give up this match very, very easily. He's going to fight tooth and nail to stay in this World Championship. So, all to play for tonight.
It certainly is all to play for. And of course, the winner of that match between Robertson and O'Sullivan will play Matthew Stevens in the semi-final after he completed a 13-5 victory over his Welsh compatriot and good friend Ryan Day. Having trailed 5-2 at one stage, the 2-time Crucible finalist won 11 frames in a row and is back in a World Championship semi-final for the first time in 7 years.
Both of us struggled a bit. Ryan struggled last night. It was really hard. But you've got to do a job, and I managed to do it.
I had plenty of chances and just spiralled out of control really. So it's very very disappointing, but can't change a lot about it now.
It's been a long few years. It's been disappointing. Watching all the other guys have the success in the World Championship, where years ago I was getting to the semis or quarters more or less every year, and to be in the latter stages of this event is means the world to me. It's what we practice for, and I feel very proud of myself.
Obviously, it's disappointing for Ryan Day, but Matthew Stevens, what a tremendous comeback from a player who had disappeared a bit into the snooker wilderness.
Yeah, he's got his appetite back and he's got his game back. And I mean, he won 11 frames in a row against Ryan Day, a former top 8 player.
Yeah.
So he's in the semi-finals again. I think it's his 6th time he's been in the semi-finals. He's one of those players for the long road.
Yeah.
He loves it here at the Crucible, loved the UK Championship, the Masters, and you know, he's a force to be reckoned with now. I think any player in the semi-final has got a great chance to win this tournament.
Yeah, well done to Matthew Stevens, back in the semi-final at the Crucible. A reminder that tonight's other quarter-final match is between Ali Carter and Jamie Jones. Currently 9-7 to Ali Carter. We'll be keeping you up to date on that. But it's time to get the players out now. Only one man to do that, Rob Walker.
Thanks, Rishi. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a dramatic night in prospect here at the Crucible as we wrap up the quarter-finals of this year's fr.17-23 World Snooker Championship. And these two matches could go all the way. Please welcome a debutant who has become a big star here on the big stage. Fearless of opponent or context, he's played the best snooker of his career so far. He's finally delivering the talent he promised us he had. He's knocked out former champion Shaun Murphy already, and he needs another huge evening tonight. Can he find the extra gear? Here comes the pride of Neath, the Welsh warrior, Jamie Jones. And his opponent, riding the wave of his best form for months. He clearly has his appetite back for the game. His comeback from 12-9 down against Judd Trump shows his fighting spirit is alive and well. The two-time ranking event champion on the verge of a third Crucible semi-final. He's flying high, that's why we call him the captain, Ali Carter! And now, please welcome the most naturally gifted player ever to grace the modern game. Vintage against Williams on Sunday and again this afternoon. He is playing some of the best snooker we've seen from him here in years. 4 times a UK champion, 3 times a world champion. Blink and you'll miss him. The Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan! And finally, an Australian import with a touch of class. He has become one of the best players in the world in recent years. He has a reputation for keeping ice cool under pressure. He's won the Welsh Open, the World Open and the China Open. And he went all the way here 2 years ago. He needs a big session tonight. Can he keep it going? Can you hear the thunder? From down under, Neil Robertson.
What a great atmosphere inside the Crucible tonight. A reminder, we will keep you up to date with Carter and Jones. It's also available via the red button and online. But it's O'Sullivan and Robertson for us now on BBC Two. Steve Davis and Willie Thornton standing by in the commentary box to take over.
Well, congratulations to the two players. Thank you very much, Richie. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a match this is likely to be. Two of the best players in the world going hammer and nail in the final session here at the Crucible. The second session was quite unbelievable. Neil Robertson could hardly pot a ball in the first 6 frames, and it did remarkably well to win the last 2 to keep him in the match. in the context of the match, Steve, I think those final 2 frames of the afternoon session when he trailed 9-5 to win those last 2 games shows you that Robertson is certainly not going to give up in this match.
No, it will give him some hope for this session as well, to finish strongly.
Take a little bit of time to settle there, just wiping his hands down. Both these players playing pretty quick, but Robertson was struggling this afternoon, hence his shot time's gone up to 26 seconds. O'Sullivan has normal, very quick.
The 2 reds past the middle pocket, causing the problems for safety play to the ball care area. Got to be careful with this one, as Neil Robertson. Should he be trying to screw back to the black cushion? Doesn't really know where the red's going to go. It's on its way back up the table, but it's caught the bump.
Yes, managed to get the white back there, didn't he? So even if it had come up the table, he'd been unlucky to have left it on. Well, he decided that an aggressive safety shot here, leaving the white in the baulk area, would be beneficial.
Well, he's nearly lined the cue ball up with the 2 reds and the yellow, but I think Neil Robertson can get past to the second red. It's a risky shot to drop it in for the black. He could play the pot to the blue area. Element of safety there. He played it even harder. Would have been a bit risky, I suppose, playing to the blue area. The red over the middle pocket would have been able to have been snuck in, but great pot anyway.
Well, he's looking at the slightly more risky brown. The yellow roll-up would have been a certainty where the red is, but he's decided to take the bull by the horns after that good pot and attempt this brown. A little surprising he went for that, because if he runs up to the yellow, with the red being there, he could have played a little bit harder. He's an absolute certainty to get him behind the yellow.
Thank you.
Missed a lot of the balls in the middle pocket in that first session this afternoon, the middle session this afternoon.
1.
Ronnie trying to leave an angle on the black to go into them, because he has that loose red there available should the kiss not come out nicely. A little bit too straight though to play the pack. With the pink being off its spot, he's going to have to be careful if he plays to go into them from the blue. That's why he's played for
9.
the pink, to nudge at least 1 red will come out of this if he screws it in. Not necessarily more than that, so he's looking at the black. Needs a half-full contact on one of the reds just above the black, otherwise it would be nowhere. And unfortunately got it full ball, and that's why it's nowhere.
16. Just check that from this side.
Did this a lot this afternoon, Steve. I know you were working on the other game, but when something didn't go right for Ronnie, it didn't seem to take a lot of time in his safety. He was down very, very quick there. Already decided on what he wanted to do.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
but played that
16.
one pretty well.
Still seems to me to be very much in control of himself in this World Championship. Well, you can't leave Neil Robertson a sniff at a red. Okay, it's not guaranteed to come to that much. Possible plant in the middle pocket, bit risky. What a great pot. Can he get into the pack? Can he get on the one by the yellow?
8.
Not so bad for the left-hander, this red down the rail. Didn't quite get on the red by the yellow.
Well, we'll certainly get onto the red by the yellow this time. That first red from Robertson, they're the kind of pots he was potting in the first couple of matches. There's quite a few against Ronnie this afternoon, but the opening red there, that's the kind of pots he was knocking in all the time.
14.
Not the highest long pot success rate. I'm sure that'll improve
15.
as the match goes on. I'm not too sure. I mean, where the brown is just about where he needs to play with side to get into the bunch. Not too sure if he goes past the brown, whether he can still go into the pack. Might have to try and screw directly into them without using the cushion. The brown was the problem there, Steve, wasn't it? If the brown wasn't there, he'd played one cushion.
Yes. Both players having a couple of chances in this frame already. Probably try and get the cue ball, I was going to say down behind the green, but perhaps he's going to try and contain the reds, not open them up too much.
Neil Robertson.
You'll be very
17.
disappointed with that.
Ronnie coming around to look at the potted angle. I'm not too sure they can see the one nearest the pocket. He can. If he cuts it in plain ball, he'll be going in and out of balk. So be careful, you don't kiss the red to the right of the blue. Concentrate 100% on the safety. The pot was a bit of bonus. Well, Steve was just saying to me off mic there that when he plays this safety shot, moving the red he did, he's going to leave a plant on, and it's got to be made. But Ronnie will be playing safe off that red anyway, and if it's slightly thick, as you can see, it's set for the near jaw. If it's slightly thicker, it'll go pretty close. If it's slightly thick, he's going to have to miss the kiss on the black. So I didn't entertain that one at all and played an excellent safety shot.
Would have been a risky plant. Here's another risky plant. Not too sure how he's going to try and get back to baulk. Should he play that? The question is, how does he get back to baulk? That is probably the only way he can get back, but he's got to be careful he doesn't actually collide with the red that's behind the pink in doing this. He found a nice gap between the red and the pink. Excellent shot.
What a fabulous effort that was. And he's unlucky if he's left this. Ronnie's probably going to have to play with a bit of side. Ronnie tapping the table as we see this attempt at a plant go in.
There wasn't much room there, I know that.
And the gap he found was very, very tight, but he has covered it, as you can clearly see. I think the key with this match is the pot success rate. Robertson is, you know, over this distance is always above the 90%, and there you can see it down at 87. And I think that's the big thing in this match. That's why it's just obviously behind.
Well, Ronnie might have to play the in-off. Well, that was very risky. Do you know, I thought he could have played side cushion very slowly, hit the red, and if it goes in off, so what?
Agreed. Absolutely.
Possibly.
It was a shot where he had to widen the angle because the red was a long way away from the jaws, and to hit it, he'd virtually got to hit the red quarter ball. OK, he hit it half ball.
Wonderful chance for Neil Robertson. An opportunity he'd have been hoping he got in the first frame.
Yes, you can never complain, can you, if you get a good chance? And this is a good chance. He won the final 2 frames of the afternoon session. And he's obviously strong favourite now to take the opening one of the evening session.
Six. Seven.
This is the shot on Hawkeye where Steve suggested in off or not, but he'd have played a lot slower than that and left the white in the jaws of the pocket, or if it did go in off, that's no problem.
Yes, of course you wouldn't have played the in-off, but you might have wanted it to go in. He did catch it very thick. Too many choices?
Yes, the key thing here is clearly getting either pink or black on its spot, and then it's pretty much plain sailing from there. It's a strange choice, that really. Had lots of reds. He's left himself hampered being a left-hander for the black, so he may have to play the more difficult blue or pink. I don't think he would have taken the black on because it's hampered. Black's obviously the ball he wants to take.
And the blue's the one he's going to. Nicely struck.
18. $19.
Got to be a little bit careful when he pots this black. He doesn't cover the black with the red over the corner, which is the one he'll be playing for. He's played okay. He's got the gap nicely. This is a chance now. The balls are in a reasonable position.
26.
We'd expect him to win the frame from here now.
$27.
We just noticed Robertson shaking his head a moment ago. I don't know whether he's left his little file. He likes to kind of reshape his tip at times, you know, or make it so it holds the chalk. Maybe after this frame he'll go out of the auditorium to get that.
34. 35.
Because he could have left his extension in the dressing room and probably just looking to one of his friends in the box there to go and fetch it. That shows you how nervous you are. Usually, Steve, you're well prepared, aren't you, for the session?
42.
A little bit of nerves going into this final session, as you would expect.
43.
Yes, he had a shot with the rest that perhaps he would have been happier putting an extension on the end of his cue, so... Oh, kick. Horrible kick.
Neil Robertson, 50.
Well, Ronnie acknowledges defeat in that frame, albeit there was only kind of 52 points in it. Ronnie O'Sullivan decides to declare that frame, and Neil Robertson gets the frame back on the board, but still trails 9-8.
The first frame of every session, Ken, is extremely important, and a big one for Neil Robertson, especially having discussed what we did earlier.
Yeah.
The fact that he hung in there, he's only 2 behind and now 1, when he could easily have been 6 behind at one stage.
That's right. Well, he was 9-5 down today, you know, and looking very wayward, you know, in his whole play. Didn't look at the races at all, but managed to sort of pull something up from his bootlaces and got back into this match, you know, and you know, to finish the session 9-7, even though he lost the session 6-2, he would have been more relieved than actually Ronnie would have been. So, you know, he's back in this match, first frame on his board now, and there's only 1 in it, so there's everything to play for here.
Just tell me about this first frame and the way he looked to you, Neil Robertson, in terms of his attitude.
He played a fantastic safety shot, Neil Robertson. He put Ronnie in a lot of trouble here, and if we have a look at the shot that Ronnie played, now the guys have been saying in commentary that Ronnie could have played off the inside of this red and put the white somewhere in the jaws of that pocket, and even if the white had have gone in off, it wouldn't have left Robertson a clear-cut opportunity to go on and win the frame. And as you see the way the balls were left there, he just caught it on the wrong side. But he could have tried to come down on the inside of that red, either nestled up to it or half-ball it, and if the cue ball went in, well, it's not a deliberate foul, but he gave Robertson the chance, and he duly took it.
Okay, well, of course, earlier today we were wishing goodbye to Stephen Hendry, a Crucible player, one player who set quite a record here at the Crucible for the amount of times he appeared in the final, 6 times. Jimmy White celebrating his 50th birthday today, so we send out very happy birthday to the whirlwind Jimmy White.
Yes, I concur with that, Jimmy. 50 today. He's joined the oldies. And Neil Robertson popped off to collect something out of the dressing room, and it was an extension he went to collect. Very unusual for a player to forget the very important equipment. We saw him shaking his head in the middle part of that game because he realised he wanted the extension on, and then thought, where is it? Looked under the table, looked on the seat, realised he'd left it in the dressing room, and this time he's come out with the extensions. Albeit Leo Sullivan in first in this frame.
3.
Yes, off a very poor break-off shot from Neil Robertson.
4.
How many times we see Ronnie O'Sullivan clear the table from the other guy's break-off, even if it's been a good one.
$11. 12.
Just that one loose red at the back of the pack. It could go into the outside red and still be on that one. Purposely played for it. A little surprised because Ronnie normally would play just to flick the outside one. He maybe thought, if I hit it too thin, I won't be on the red. So he's left it purposely. And if he's straight, he's going to have to leave an angle on it to get into the pack. Now, the only problem with those two reds above the black, it's very similar to when he played the shot in the previous frame. He's going to have to play the screw into the pack, and he doesn't really want to. But doesn't want it on the thick. Couldn't have played it better. Hit them half ball, which he had to do. And you see with the screw shot, just push the other red on. Excellent.
Just sit still, please. Just don't move. $28.
So much cue power going into the pack of reds there, he really did shift them around. Would have been easy to have stuck on a red there. And it was cue power with very little effort as well, which was a very important part of that shot.
34.
It's 9 times out of 10 when the pack's flat at the back as it was there, the screw shot is not the shot, but the fact that there was one red just sticking out, that he knew if he screwed off the pack he would be kissing into that red. And this is what's made Ronnie O'Sullivan one of the greatest breakthroughs in the game. There you saw a stun into the pack. He knew the screw then was no good, he had to play the stun into the pack. And just watch what happens. It stuns and then stops. Brilliant shot again.
On that particular shot, there were 3 reds in the open. But Ronnie O'Sullivan knows full well how to win a frame of snooker, is to get them all in the open.
Just as you can see a little bit betwixt and between here, not nicely on either red in the middle or this one in the corner. You would expect O'Sullivan to make a very large break from here.
$49. 50. $57.
Well, at first glance, he's not really on one nicely. The one in the middle will cut, but if he plays it plain ball, he'll be kissing the yellow. So he may have to play with a bit of side to miss that, or even stun. Oh, so what? That distill pot just passes. Be flicking out for the pink as well. Took no chances there. Made sure he just came into open play. Didn't know quite whether he'd be on blue or bought colour there. That was Robertson's last chance, I think, in this frame. And it was a very poor break-off that gave him this opportunity.
63. $64.
This is the break-off. As you can see, he brings a red right up over the middle pocket. We'll show you that in a second. What actually happened, it came up past the blue, left Ronnie a relatively easy opening red, which he knocked in, and the rest now is history.
71.
I think a total clearance is imminent here. And how easy has he made this look?
77. 78.
Should he go on to make a century here, with the 58th of the tournament, Ronnie's 5th, and still trailing the rookie Jamie Jones, who's had 7 so far. That is a remarkable
86.
performance from Jamie Jones. Oh, what a fly off the cushion that was. That's generated 2 foot of pace 92. There, further than he wanted. But Ronnie's one of those players that hardly ever complains about the cushions.
93.
That time he needed a bounce and didn't get one. But he's luckily finished on the blue in the corner.
$98. 99.
That Jan Verhaas. Got to be quicker, Jan. Needs a pair of plimsolls on the way. Ronnie's knocking him in at the minute. Another brilliant century from Ronnie O'Sullivan, the 58th of the match. That's another £200 to the Haven House Hospice. Kindly donated by our sponsors, betfred.com.
104.
And having lost 3 frames on the trot, it was essential to get a good start, and he did that. Neil Robertson was disappointed with his break-off. Ronnie O'Sullivan with applied with a 104 and goes 2 clear again at 10-8.
Well, we see Ronnie O'Sullivan doing what he does best. He gets a sniff of an opportunity, Ken, and he takes full advantage.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure whether Neil Robertson's concentration was broken when he had to go back out after the first frame. He forgot his extension, so he went back out to the dressing room to get his extension. He came in and he broke off. Now, just watch his break off here. And maybe it was just a lack of concentration, didn't concentrate on his break enough. And look what happened. He brought the red up towards the blue, an easy opportunity for O'Sullivan, and the rest is history. It cost him the frame. So he'd be absolutely livid, because that was a great first frame for Robertson. Now, all of a sudden, he's handed the initiative back to Ronnie. And Ronnie produced some tremendous stuff in there as well. Yeah. Some great positional play off the black. Absolutely sublime. I mean, once he gets in around the pink and the black, I mean, he played 2 brilliant shots to split the pack up on the black, and his cue ball control is just sensational. It's just a joy to watch, to be honest. If Ronnie continues in that vein, once again, Neil's going to find it hard to stay in touch with him. Yes, absolutely. Well, it's like one-chance snooker. I mean, that's the standard now that these guys have set. So even a half chance, you know, a safety shot that may go awry, that could, you know, give your opponent a chance. You've just got to be so careful. You've got to concentrate on every single pot and every single safety shot. It's tough.
As quickly as you can, lads, please. Go on.
Just a little bit of movement in the crowd. Some latecomers obviously don't want to miss this one. The match has only been underway for about 25 minutes and already missed 2 frames. Really mindful of covering the red that's in open play in the balk end, and he has done. This makes this safety shot a lot more difficult now if he plays off the edge of the pack, because he doesn't want to kiss yellow or brown on the way back into balk, so he's looking at an alternative.
Yeah, I think it's a wrong shot to play back into balk in some ways. If he can find any other type of shot, nestling into the pack even. There we go. Far better shot. OK, so he's given 6 away, has he? No.
No, it's OK. He's just laughing there because it rolled up about a full ball and it nearly hit the pink. I'm surprised there. You thought that was a dangerous shot. I mean, you'd have definitely played in your good days off the edge of the pack.
Yeah, some of those players from the past weren't so good at putting the long ones as they are now.
Yeah, you're probably right. But you were the master at the safety. You wouldn't have hit the yellow or brown on the way back. Took a little bit of a dangerous shot on there, knowing that the only thing that could go wrong if he missed it was catch the far jaw. And he did catch the far jaw, which has left a pot on for Ronnie.
Tough opener for Neil Robertson now. So close. Made it look easy. One bit further away from the blue than he would have wanted to play the screw into the pack with enough power. So perhaps he's going to take one more stab at getting an ideal position on the blue or a ball colour to get into the pack.
It's funny how different players see the shots, isn't it? Ronnie would definitely play off the blue end of the bunch. Neil decided that it is a bit too near the cushion. But everybody plays a different way. Obviously he's now perfectly on the red and now can make sure he gets a good angle on the blue or the black to go into them.
5.
I think ideally you like to be sort of mid-table, this distance
6.
away. You can get more, you can keep the backspin on, I think, more. It's really make the ball fizz once it hits the pink.
Similar to that. Brilliant. Well played. Ronnie made a fabulous 104 in the previous frame. There's a similar amount on here where the balls are.
$19. $20. Sure. 27.
Appeared to have a poor contact on the black when he was screwing back. You just saw the black just bounce a little bit. But he's still in perfect position and got another kick. It's amazing. How often do you have the white clean and get a kick? Not very often.
Yeah, again.
Well, the only chalk that could have been on the ball, on the cue ball, is the chalk that he put on the cue board in playing this shot.
So it may be a little bit of chalk or dust on the red then that made it kick.
Or perhaps there's another reason why the balls kick.
Will we ever know? Good recovery though.
35. $36.
It's all got a little bit wrong here, but one good recovery shot should help Neil Robertson.
44.
He didn't really make it look like a recovery shot, did he? It's unmissable.
Can you believe it?
Neil Robertson.
That's so... I mean, if you've watched Neil Robertson over the last 2 years, I mean, he's one of the best players in the world at winning when he should win. You know, 44, and that was a black that, for Robertson, is unmissable. Just shows you what tension can do here at the Crucible.
1.
We often say in commentary that the first 40 or 50 points scored is a little bit more difficult than the last 40 or 50 because the balls are spread better and you haven't got so many near the cushion usually.
8.
So albeit Ronnie's 44 behind, he'll be pretty pleased
9.
and possibly some would consider favourite.
Not the best line on the black. Run round off of 2 cushions. Hitting the ball beautifully. Not that he
16.
doesn't ever. Really does. On a top spin shot like that, he moves the ball so well as well.
The cue ball movement is a pleasure to watch with Ronnie, with very precious little pace, whether he's screwing back or running through. He seems to get that little bit more out of the shot than a lot of players. Doesn't very often use the rest, and he had a kick there as well.
17.
That wanted to go through about 18 inches, and because of the kick, it went through about 12. Now, OK, you can probably leave the black hanging on the hole in case he misses it, but got to be a bit careful with this one. Good recovery. The pace he played it, you see, just in case he happened to miss it, the black would have been staying on the hole.
24.
Looking at the possible plant before the easy red, and he's playing the plant.
25.
They're lined up like soldiers.
It was a massive black that Neil Robertson missed
32.
there. Could haunt him tonight.
Have you seen him miss one this season like that?
I think he thought he'd done the hard work after potting the long red in the yellow pocket. He seriously, perhaps just fractionally relaxed on it. It's going to hurt him though if Ronnie can clear up here.
I mean, he missed a few balls in the session where he lost 6 frames the
41.
afternoon session, but in stroke, he just never misses a ball like that. That would have been a shock to the system.
.48.
Ronnie O'Sullivan does look like he's in punishing mode.
49.
Screwing down for the baulk colours makes the position of the red so much easier. Doesn't really want to be dead straight on this, but
51.
can always pull it back a fraction for the brown if he wanted.
52.
Bit of an angle. All over, I reckon, Willie.
Been a bit careless there. He's going to have to get into this blue. That was 3/4 ball and held it perfectly. It was tough
57.
to hold from that angle, wasn't it?
Yeah. Striking the ball so nicely.
59.
It's going in
62.
front by 3 frames for the second time in this match. At a very important moment as well.
66. 71.
It's orange alert for Neil Robertson.
Well, Robertson will be very disappointed. He started with a 44. He missed the black off the spot. When looked like winning the frame, but O'Sullivan replied with a 71 clearance. O'Sullivan now got a real good stranglehold on this match, and he leads 11-8.
I think in baseball they refer to that as a steal. Ronnie O'Sullivan now 3 frames clear. We promised you that we'd bring you up to date what's happening in the other table. Well, it's taken a bit of while to get the first frame out of the way between Ali Carter and Jamie Jones, but let's have a look at the closing stages.
Well, he's played that with so much reverse side, and in hitting it at that pace, the side's going to throw the white off before it gets to the pink.
Yep, that was the old case, that of making the pink hard to try and make the black easier.
Yeah, but make sure the pink, your opponent would have to pop the black twice then. He only needs the pink and black.
Absolutely right. Now, what's the line of this white? It'll need to bounce off the top cushion, will it, or is it going to stop? Black to the right middle.
With not too much pace.
goes. That was a massive frame.
Ali
Carter had chances, but so did Jamie Jones. And in the end, it's Ali Carter who stretched his lead with that black. He now leads by 10 frames to 7.
Ali Carter in control of that match. He's 3 frames clear of Jamie Jones. We're going back to the action between Neil Robertson and Ronnie O'Sullivan. Ronnie O'Sullivan taking full advantage of that inexplicable miss on the black by Neil Robertson in the previous frame. Let's get back to the boys in the commentary box.
Thank you, Richie. 3 frames in front for Ali Carter, 3 frames in front for Ronnie O'Sullivan, and an excellent opening red. There'll be a 15-minute break after this frame. Of course, it's one of those things, if Ronnie wins this frame, there you can see the distances, 8'2" and 2'6" from the pocket, and went in like a bullet. It's one of those situations where I was just about to say, if Ronnie wins this frame, he won't want to have an interval. This is where the intervals sometimes can change a match. Ronnie, he goes 12-8 in front, though. Highly unlikely for Robertson to win 5 frames, but you never know. We've already seen 4 frames come back from a couple of times this week.
$11. 12. 19. 20. 27. 28. 33.
Just seems in a rush, didn't he, Ronnie? He's already, after some 2 minutes, on 33, and a few more to come.
34.
And when you consider he just stopped for 3 or 4 seconds on that last red, how quickly he puts a frame, or certainly puts the frame in a position
41.
where he's a favourite to win it.
42.
This is the kind of mood he was in all those years ago when he made that 147 with 5.26. He's in that kind of mood.
47. 48.
Well, this is the key shot. Can he get onto a red? He tried to leave the blue half ball, he's overscrewed it.
Yeah, I think he gets the feeling he's playing so well that he can up the pace a bit. That's what I get the sense that that's the case. He's still got to be careful, though.
53.
This would be a great frame to convert. Marvellous
54.
shot.
And perfect angle. Perfect angle. Neil Robertson's looking up, hoping that this split won't work for O'Sullivan. And it has. The top red potable. It's come out enough to pot into the corner. Just that red, just pushed further enough past the pink to make it potable.
62.
And this is a brilliant break. Just coming up to 4 minutes, and he's 1 pot away from going 12-8 in front. Four
67.
minutes and you've already won the frame, Steve, huh? Amazing.
68. 75. 76.
Fantastic cueing. Just
79.
knocking him in for fun, really. What a great feeling that must be like at the World Championship.
Yes, Ronnie catching up with Jamie Jones. Should he make a century here? Jamie's in the lead with 7. This will be Ronnie's 6th, the 60th of the tournament.
It's going to take some beating in this tournament, I feel.
And how can he play this good?
86.
Yet sometimes don't want to play. It's frightening, isn't it? It really is frightening how good he can be, this guy.
$93. $94.
If he does win this quarter-final, his opponent...
100.
Amazingly enough, the break comes to the end at 5:26, but it already did enough to win. Robertson in deep, deep trouble. Ronnie O'Sullivan leads 12-8.
And needs just one more for a spot in the semi-finals. And Ken, you've been sitting here and you've been saying you're just incredible.
Shaking my head. I'll tell you, I've not seen Ronnie O'Sullivan play as well as this for a couple of years. It's just his opening shot in this break and the break in the last round when Neil Robertson missed the black. Just have a look at this. But look at the top spin he gets on it. He doesn't just go up for the ball colours. He goes in and out of ball and went on to make another century break. I've not seen him hit the ball as well for a long, long time. And as Steve Davis said in commentary, it must be so nice to be able to play like that. He's potting them for fun, and particularly when it means so much in the World Championship.
Neil Robertson came into this tournament and into this match with a lot of people talking about him as the one that might be the one to beat. The way Ronnie O'Sullivan is playing now, surely he has set the standard for everybody else in the tournament.
Absolutely. Well, I saw Neil Robertson first time because he beat me in the first round, but he was playing. I thought he was going to really put it up to Ronnie, and he has, and he's tried to. But I think that missed black in that frame may have cost him this World Championship.
OK, we're just going to pop over to the table next door. Ali Carter against Jamie Jones. Ali Carter, of course, won the first frame of the evening session here. But at the moment, Jamie Jones on a break of 27. He's hoping to get back into it. He's 3 frames down. He, of course, is playing very well at the moment. Don't forget that if you want to carry on watching Jamie Jones and Ali Carter, or indeed Ronnie O'Sullivan and Neil Robertson, you can do so via the red button or by going online. And of course, you'll be more than welcome to join me for highlights. That's at 11:20 p.m. on BBC Two. All the news on who seals the last spots in the semi-finals of this year's Betfred.com World Championship. But from Ken, myself, and the entire team here at the Crucible, bye-bye.
Next on BBC Two, a new series looks at the way we lived and entertained in Antiques Uncovered.
Jasmine Harmon is opening the door on British hoarders.
Anyone with hoarding problems needs help. No one's going to be able to do it on their own.
Revealing the clutter that burdens their lives.
Just having a hard time.
And their families.
It's not really my problem, it's other people's problems.
Will they find the motivation to take back control?
After years of living with hoarding.
Let the bass kick.
Follow the score of your favorite team live and find the latest results and features with Euroscore's live score.
With Eurosport.com's free application available on tablets and smartphones, gain access to all the articles and videos from Eurosport.com, plus get the latest news in real time. Check out the latest results, fixtures and tables, and follow your favourite sports events live. All your favourite events from Eurosport and Eurosport 2 are also available on Eurosport Player. The multi-channel function allows you to watch Eurosport, Eurosport 2 and Eurosport News at the same time. Additional live coverage on the bonus channels, plus an extensive on-demand library lets you watch what you want, when you want. Eurosport Player, the best way to watch sport wherever you are. To find out more, go to Eurosportplayer.com.
This program is brought to you by Aspire Academy, inspired by Aspire.
Welcome back to the Crucible. Ronnie O'Sullivan 1 frame away from the semis at 12-8 in the mid-session interval. Ali Carter leading Jamie Jones 10-7. They're still out on the table there. If you look on the left-hand side, Ali leading the Welshman 10 frames to 7. But the big news this week, of course, was Stephen Hendry, who, after being beaten in the quarterfinals by Stephen Maguire 13 frames to 2, at the post-match press conference confirmed what one or two people knew, not many, that he was going to retire from the game.
Yeah, I'm officially retired now from tournament snooker. That's I made the decision about 3 months ago, and I didn't tell many people. I've only told 2 or 3 people, but yeah, this is me finished from tournament snooker. It wasn't really, to be honest. It was quite an easy decision. There's a few reasons, you know, which I'm not going to go into in detail, bore you with. But the schedule didn't help. The fact that I'm not playing the snooker I want to play didn't help. The fact that I don't enjoy practice doesn't help. I want to do other things. I've got a lot of commitments now in China, which I've signed up for, and I can't do both. I can't do that and play snooker because I would never be at home. So yeah, the time is right for me.
The time is right for him. Well, we shall miss him. He's given us some great memories. In fact, we caught him at another moment in time at the Crucible and asked him to reminisce a little about
to be in the final
his
World
life.
Championship. It's every player's ambition to be world champion. I knew when I won my semi-final match that I was world #1. So that was part 1 of the plan, and part 2 was obviously to win the World Championship. I just remember I was so relaxed. I really just enjoyed it. I wasn't nervous at all. I fully expected to win because I knew by beating John Parrott I was world #1, so I had all the pressure was gone. I just wanted playing Jimmy White. Just relax and enjoy. In the next year, because nobody has ever defended the World Championship at the Crucible, after they win it the first time, nobody has won it a second time. So I was determined to break that hoodoo and be the first one. And I remember so disappointed to lose in 1991 in the quarterfinals. So obviously Jimmy White again, same 2 opponents. 92, I remember I'd had a fantastic season. I think I won maybe 3, 4, 5 events. So again, I was full of confidence. Everybody said I was favourite to win. And I expected to win, but it was obviously a much tougher match. I was 14-8 behind and won 10 frames in a row to win the final, which you never expect to do that in a world final. But I just got, I could see Jimmy was under more pressure and I was gaining more confidence. For me, 93 was probably my best world championship, apart from 7th to break the record. 93, I played every match and won easily. And Jimmy White in the final I beat with 1 session still to spare, 18-5. So I was very happy with that performance. I remember that final obviously because it went to the final frame, 17-17. You remember, other matches go to final frames, but you never think you're going to be involved in a match at the Crucible that goes 17-17. I remember Jimmy had a fantastic chance to win, but missed a very easy black. And then I made one of the best clearances I made in my career under pressure to win. 95 was, I think, Nigel Bond. I remember from that final that I was behind after the first session, 4-3, and then won something like 10 out of the next 12 frames. The first evening session I played very well, didn't miss many shots, punished Nigel for his mistakes, and took a very big lead into the 3rd session, which is always relaxes you for the final day. But I played Peter Ebdon, who was one of the up-and-coming stars of the game. Very, very tough opponent. But I played very well. I was able to, I was world #1. I was full of confidence. I didn't really mind who was in the other chair. because I felt like now the Crucible was becoming like my home. I was in the final every year, and I was winning every year, and I knew that it would take someone to play incredible snooker to beat me. My 7th world title to beat the record of Steve Davis. I was under pressure. I knew what it meant to win the 7th world title. I knew that if I didn't do it this time, I might not get another chance. You never know with any sport. So I was determined to give it 100%, give it everything to try and win the 7th world title.
Mark Williams, 4.
I remember, I only remember in the last frame I was 30-something behind and got a chance, and I remember thinking, you have to take this chance, because I had a lead on Mark Williams and he started to come back, and he was playing, you know, very good snooker, and I thought to myself, you have to take this chance now, because if it gets any closer, the pressure could be too much. So I've really concentrated on 100% and took the chance to win it and win the 7th world title.
Seven world titles, 9 finals in all, so many victories, so many great memories of Stephen Hendry. He'll never be forgotten, that's absolutely for certain. Well, coming back to the actual action here in the arena, we've still got Ali Carter and Jamie Jones battling it out. They are nowhere near their mid-session interval yet. But whilst we await Mrs. Robertson and O'Sullivan, let's go back in time just a little and see the highest break of the match so far. Jamie Jones, you know, has had a number of big centuries, 4 in fact of the top 6. Here is one of them. It's frame 11 of this match against Ali Carter. He'd already had a 1-2-7 a little bit earlier in the match. Here we see him at the table attempting to accumulate still more points. Jamie, for many of us, has been the big surprise packet of this championship. Not content with reaching just 100, he goes for the big ones. And already at this point with 3 centuries in the 130 bracket. And on his way to another one here. 51. Let's enjoy it. Time and again in our commentaries on Jamie this last week or so, we've said how confident he's looked, not at all afraid of the big arena. This is his debut, of course. Only one man has ever won the world title here at the Crucible on his Crucible debut. I'm sure you all know, you snooker fans out there, that it was Terry Griffiths, of course, in 1979. But let me just remind you, of course, like Terry, this young fella just happens to be a Welshman. Lightning can't strike twice, can it? Someone will be saying, oh yes it can.
Well, we've produced some great players down the years, haven't we?
They certainly have, Mike. And this is a player I'm increasingly enjoying watching, I have to say. He doesn't seem to be afraid of anyone.
Well, I think, like Judd Trump last year at the China Open, that was really launched his career. And then a few weeks ago when he was in the PTCs in Galway, when he beat John Higgins, we thought, oh, hang on, this kid can play. And of course, a few weeks later, he finds himself here in the quarter-finals. So perhaps Ireland might have been the launching pad for him.
It might well have been. Ali Carter, a formidable opponent, but as with his previous opponents, Andrew Higginson in the last round, Sean Murphy no less in the first round, and let's not forget in the qualifiers, Andy Hicks, Ricky Walden. He beat Ricky Walden 10-2. So, you know, he's beaten good names, and here in this frame that we're looking at, already past the snooker's required position,
51.
And just oozing confidence.
Eight.
Nice little nudge on the Reds to just make them a little easier to pot.
95.
Anxious to get on with it, almost pushing Aaron Williams out of the way there. I've seen that done once or twice before by certain quick players. And there, another century, his 6th. This was, at that time,
104.
Yeah, this was important as well. He didn't want to go 7-4 behind.
No, in truth, in the match as a whole, he's been playing catch-up with Ali Carter, trying hard to stay right on the heels of the Essex man. Ali, of course, the far more experienced player, having been to the final, was the runner-up in 2008 to Ronnie O'Sullivan. But this is another great performance from the Welshman. Not content with getting to 3 figures, he makes sure of clearing the colours, this guy.
120.
At this point, his previous Crucible best was a 1-3-6 that he had in the first round against Sean Murphy. He'd also had a 1-3-5 and a 1-3-4, but this black for a 1-3-8 and another personal best at the Crucible, and his 6th all in all. Wonderful. And I can tell you, he got another one in the following frame, a 1-3-2, his 7th. Incredible stuff from the young man, although he does still trail Ali Carter by 10 frames to 8. He's just pinched the 18th to peg it back from 10-7 to 10-8. We'll give you more on that one when we return, hopefully for the Robertson-O'Sullivan match, of course, in a moment or two. But right now, another short commercial break.
It's a colossal journey of some 3,500 kilometres. But the victor's reward is a triumph in Milan and the pride of the pink jersey. The race could well be a scrap between the winners of the last 2 years. And it'll be a battle royal for the red jersey with the sprint stars out in force. The Giro d'Italia, Stage 1, Saturday at 15:30, live on Eurosport.
This program is brought to you by Aspire Academy, inspired by Aspire.
Welcome back once again to the Crucible. Ronnie O'Sullivan and Neil Robertson expect it out to resume their match. In fact, bang on cue. Sorry, there's that awful pun again. Bang on cue. Here comes Ronnie And in a moment, Neil Robertson. Just a reminder, on the other table, Ronnie Carter leading Jamie Jones by 10 frames to 8. Their match a little bit slower in pace, but then when Ronnie's rattling around the table, are you very surprised? Well, Ronnie needs just one more to put Neil Robertson out, or put it another way, there are 5 frames possible, and Neil Robertson needs to win all 5 of them. A tough task even for the Australian former world champion. Here we go then with frame number 21. A little more than 5 hours for 20 frames. That's pretty good going, an average of almost, well, just around 15. Well, there you are, there it is, 15 minutes and 17 seconds. That's a pretty good average over 20 frames of snooker. It's courtesy, it has to be said, mainly of Ronnie O'Sullivan's speed around the table. Look at the difference, 16 seconds per shot, Ronnie, 26 seconds for Neil Robertson. A huge difference.
Yeah, I think that's been reflected in the play, really, in as much. Well, the safety success for Neil's not too bad. Ronnie's in the 90s, but I think because of the session that Ronnie had this afternoon, we were totally flying. And then, of course, Neil was really under pressure. He was obviously taking a little bit more time and hopefully not trying to make too many mistakes because they were being punished.
Well, he can't make any more mistakes now. Mikey's reached the point of no return. The pot success at 87. He'll not be best pleased when he sees that statistic now. Has that come out enough from the brown? I think it has, just about.
You can't see the one on the right-hand side. You can definitely see one on the left. With the 4-frame cushion, you might see Ronnie have a go at this one. You could stun over for the black. That could be the beginning and the end for the strain.
What a great starter. Can he finish it?
Just stroked it in.
Yeah, a year or so ago, Mike, we were commenting on how Ronnie's long potting had gone off a bit. It had, there's no question, but this time around, he's shown just how, oh, well.
Yeah, he's got the long pot.
He has,
back
but
again.
What about that for a short one? Dear,
Yeah.
dear, dear.
Trying to open them up. Well, if he can pot everything, I think we should all go home. But he's not doing so bad, is he? He doesn't do, you know, he's always on a high percentage. He's very rarely below 90%, Ronnie, you know, with the pot success. It's always 90, 91 and above. But Neil here now at the point of no return. You might want to take the foot off the gas, though.
Let's have a look at this black again. Attempting to develop those reds, knowing he'd got this red here into this corner anyway, and forgetting to pot the black. Very awkward this, but you'd expect Neil to just roll this red in. No problem.
One. Okay.
Well, Neil, in case you're looking for that butt end in a minute or two's time, it's in Jan Verhaas's right-hand pocket.
Eight. Nine. $14.
This guy is very capable of rattling off 5 frames on the bounce. But he missed the black off the spot when he was in and amongst them on 44, and he cannot afford to do that. One more mistake and Ronnie will pounce. Mind you, he missed the black off the spot there, but I can't see him doing it again.
Will he get the chance in this frame?
22.
Oh, it's gone a little bit far, a lot far. So it'll have to be a baulk colour.
Well, there's one just below the pink there. You can play this one to the left corner.
$26. $33. Yeah, sure.
It's okay. He's under great pressure though. He knows every shot here could be his last one should he miss.
$40.
Well, I've just dropped this in for the black. He might be able to leave himself an angle just to split those 4 reds. Oh, hang on.
41.
So it looked a little bit wide there. Well, he stayed with it as well.
Yes, he wasn't certain. I think it was just the pace was right for it to drop any faster, and I think it might have stayed out.
Great shot.
48. $49. $56.
Only Neil's 5th half-century. We're in frame 21. One of them was that 100 he had in frame 5. But he hasn't accumulated
57.
the big scores with the same fluency we've seen from him in earlier matches, particularly against Ken Doherty, whom he beat 10-4.
$63.
And 3 centuries in a row, I seem to recall, in that match.
$64.
He's got a perfect angle just to nudge these 2 reds open. And the frame is already safe. So be looking for a century here, and be looking to keep Ronnie in his chair if he can. Well, he didn't touch those.
70. 71.
Yes, he's missed the opportunity that he had a couple of shots ago, Mike, to just nudge those two apart if he wants the century.
Might go down for the other one. They will go. One of them goes left and one goes to the middle, which is the one he's now played on. I'm very surprised he didn't just nudge into them when he had a couple of pinks ago.
Oh, good shot. Played that with great confidence. He knew the frame was won, didn't he?
Yeah, I think the thing is, what they do is just give themselves little mini challenges. He was just testing his cue action there with that red into the middle. You know, he's trying to get it going, get some fluency, because he needs something. Yes, well, he needs 5. He's got the first one. 4 to go. It's not beyond him. But Ronnie will be ready to pounce in the next frame or two.
$89.
No.
89.
89, good enough to give him one of the 5 frames that he needs to overhaul Ronnie O'Sullivan and take the victory. Still a long uphill task. Ronnie O'Sullivan still just 1 away from that semi-final place. He leads Neil Robertson 12 frames to 9.
Base kick.
Follow the score of your favorite team live and find the latest results and features with Eurosport's Live Score.
With Eurosport.com's free application available on tablets and smartphones, gain access to all the articles and videos from Eurosport.com, plus get the latest news in real time. Check out the latest results, fixtures and tables, and follow your favourite sports events live.
Welcome back. Frame 22 then, of a possible 25 here at the Crucible Theatre. Ronnie O'Sullivan still looking now for that 1 frame that will take him into yet another World Championship semi-final. Neil Robertson with a very good 89 under pressure there, as he will be now all the way until this match ends. Whoa, well, that's a mistake. And Neil Robertson left with a red into the right corner here, and the black will go.
1. $8. 9.
Well, you never know. If you can get this one and then the next one and make
16.
it 12-11, the pressure would be back on Ronnie.
Oh, yeah, that's stuck. He was hoping that would screw back for the black into the same pocket. Didn't come off, did it?
That's careless, that. Didn't get enough backspin on it. That was a good chance as well. Might just clip off this black to go down the table. Might be putting the white to the top cushion. He's not going for this, is he? No. He's hit it on the thick side for safety. I was going to be amazed if he went for that at this stage.
Yes, that would have been nigh on reckless, I think, when you're only one frame away from defeat.
Good shot.
Now that's covered everything on the right-hand side as we look at those three reds there. And I think the blue's obscuring the left-hand side, so it's this lone red just to the right of the cluster, which is the shot to nothing. There it goes. You invariably play those with safety in mind, anticipating the white going back to baulk. If it goes in, you usually have a choice of either taking one of the colours on into a middle pocket or rolling up behind one of them for the snooker. Well, the brown is on here, Mike.
Yeah, I can't see where the next red's coming from, though, unless he leaves the white from distance. He's just the wrong side of it. Should probably roll up behind the green here. We could leave the white just the right-hand side of the brown spot, leave himself a long red into the right corner. He might be going with power here. Oh, what a shot that is.
Wow.
Actually, that's not a bad kiss. Ooh, is he on this red?
I think the blue might just have hampered him. No, the body language says, unfortunately, the blue is in the way. That was a great effort, really, to come around the angles there. Deserved a better fate.
Neil Robertson, 5.
Well, there's only that red on the extreme left as Hawkeye looks at it. To the right, as we now view the table, which is on, and it's not an easy one.
You know, I think Ronnie's contemplating taking this on. He knows that if he drops this in, he's on the black, and that's a chance for him to win the match.
Not a good long pot success, though, 58%.
Well, he chose to go backwards with the cue ball.
And he's left that red on into the corner.
Well, he thought, if I can get that one, get myself in, I can win this match. You might have to sit it out.
Meanwhile, Ali Carter is now just 2 frames away from another semi-final appearance. He's just taken frame 19 against Jamie Jones. He now leads the Welshman by 11 frames to 8.
Five. 10. 11.
Has that come far enough when the black is respotted?
18.
I think he might have to go for the one in the middle. Can he see the red past the black?
I think he might have just come high enough for that one.
Obviously, yes.
19.
Perfect angle here to split a few more. Just needs a good split here on the reds, and it should be 12-10. Let's not forget what Ali Carter did against Judd Trump. Can this man do the same here against a very in-form Ronnie O'Sullivan?
Could have been better because the queuing is a little awkward, 26. But he does have a choice of 2. Possibly a choice of 3 actually, because there's a red will go past the blue and the green into the green pocket. That's the easiest queuing of them all, but not the easiest of pots. Oh, this is very awkward. Missable. Oh, playing.
Ooh, he thought he'd missed that.
Yes.
Just for 1 minute, he thought it wasn't going to knuckle.
Yes, it didn't go in cleanly, did it? Have a look.
See the cue lifted. He was a bit doubtful about that one. Glad to see it go in because he knew he was leaving Ronnie everything on. There's no doubt that he's under pressure here, but he's doing well. I know it's the old cliche, but 1 frame at a time, that's all he can do. Not too far away from winning this one either.
$33.
Just checking to see where this pink's going to go. Now this could be interesting. Although he's still got the 1 into the middle, I think it comes this side of that red, which will block it. That's why he's played on the 1 to the centre. Could be a plant on there to the right corner as well.
Now you see the little cross there on the green baize, which is the pink spot, marked very, very carefully by the table fitters.
40.
Well, that was frame ball. He can relax now, knowing that he's won this one. Well, he shouldn't relax. He should make sure with his pot as well.
Oh, well, that should make absolutely certain that it's 2 in a row. Remember, he was 12-8, needing 5 frames in a row to reverse the scoreline and get into the semis. this is going to be the second of those 5, and Ronnie has been kept in his chair for almost these last 2 frames.
You still can't discount this man. He's got so much grit and determination. And he's just beginning to flow now as well.
54.
Yes, a second consecutive half-century. Is it too little too late? Time will tell.
$62. $63.
Well, just enough on for a century. We've had 2 already from Ronnie this evening. And Neil was well on his way to one in the last frame. Broke down on 89.
69. Thanks. 70.
So, a 104 possible. It would be his highest break of the match.
$77.
Yeah.
77.
A 77 following the 89 in the previous frame. He won't mind that. He's got the frame. That was the important thing. 2 in a row then, from 12-8 to 12-10. Ronnie still looking for that one more that he needs.
From the moment you start your journey to the adventure it becomes, from the inspiring architecture to the discovery of traditions, from nature's finest moments to the feeling of being lost amongst them, for everything Romania has to offer, to the experience you'll take away. Romania. Explore the Carpathian Garden.
Tomorrow on Eurosport. Once more, they step into the crucible of dreams. The arena that's seen so many epic battles for the world title. In a game of intense concentration and ice-cold nerves, this is where it matters most. Tomorrow at 1400, the Snooker World Championship, live on Eurosport.
Come on, Ronnie, the shouts at the Crucible Theatre here in Sheffield as Ronnie O'Sullivan's followers urge him on to get the one frame he needs to get into the semi-finals of this Betfred.com World Snooker Championship. Here he is breaking off in frame 23 of a possible 25.
Well, the big question, of course, is can Neil Robertson do it? Can he win 3 on the bounce? There would be 5, of course, but...
Yes, Ali Carter came back from needing 4 to win, 12-9 against Judd Trump. Oh, how close was that?
Come on, Ronnie. No more calling out, please.
Yes, the supporters allowing their emotions to wind up a bit here, but of course there's another match on the other table.
25 minutes since, well, that's gone now. Oh, what a kiss that is. Oh.
Well, could that be the little slice of good fortune that he needs to defeat Neil Robertson here? Let's have a look at this. Aiming to bust the reds up, which he did, but the kiss on the black, well, heaven sent from Ronnie's point of view.
8.
He's already had a quick look at the red that's near the right-hand middle pocket.
9.
And I know that Ronnie will be thinking, well, secure the frame first, but I'll tell you what, from this point on, I think he's already thinking about maximum, going out in style. It's a long way to go, but that red over the middle is not a problem if he gets high enough at the table. He's got the one on the side cushion, but of course the priority for him is to win the frame first, and he won't be too happy with that shot.
16.
No, but over on the other side, Ali Carter very happy, Mike, because he's just had a 79 break to go 12-8 up on Jamie Jones. They've gone to their mid-session interval. I'll bet he didn't want to come off because he just needs, like Ronnie O'Sullivan here, one more now. Oh, as Ronnie gets that plant, what a shot that was. And is he on the
17.
black? Oh. Yes, Ali Carter 12-8 in front now, but he's got to wait a little while. And that was
70.
A great plant by Ronnie. Unfortunate that he didn't get the position on the black.
I wonder whether Neil can get through the gap here for the red to the middle.
Looks like that's exactly what he's doing. Oof, that was high risk with another red down there. Has he got the cover?
I don't think he has.
Surprised he took that one on. It was a very high risk shot at this stage of the match.
Yep.
Ronnie just spotting something on the cue ball. Jan Verhaas doing the necessary. Could that be the last shot that Neil has here at the Crucible?
Well, I bet he wishes he could take that back now.
It did seem a little rash, I must say, Mike.
It was a big shot, you know. We might just have a little feather coming off the tip there. Sometimes when the split, you get a little light feather, and it magnifies itself when you're actually looking down the cue. Well, he lost position with the first opportunity. Will he do the same here? I wouldn't have thought so.
No, he knows that this is a golden opportunity. One or two loose reds before he needs to develop the remainder of the cluster.
Seven.
Well, there you see that he's the right side of the blue to come up the table for the next red. And now in pole position. Well, this is just the sort of position
13.
that Ronnie relishes, although he's not played the best of cue balls there for the black.
He's intending just to slide by those reds there, leave this one a little bit straighter. He should pot it, but he can get himself onto the blue. Missed it.
Well, that was the previous shot, really.
He
did get a good position on the black, and that's end of break, and Neil Robertson is still alive in this match. That was a golden opportunity, Ronnie.
I wonder if Ronnie's just feeling the pressure a little bit here. He doesn't normally, but he's desperate to get over the line. Great shot. He's got a kick there. He's played on the red to the left middle. He's taken the pace out of the cue ball. Now he's nowhere.
8.
Not only is he battling the most talented player in the game, he's battling the elements as well. You don't need that. Could play the cross double. You might be able to see enough of this, actually.
I think he probably can, but again, it's high risk at this stage of the match.
Neil Robertson, 8.
And again, you see, he's taken on a big shot and let Ronnie in.
And if he gets a good angle as we watch the replay, gets a good angle on the blue here, Ronnie will be into them.
One.
Well, that's just about perfect. He can play a power stun into the 6 reds. Well, frame and match is all about this net shot.
That could well be the shot that puts him on his way to the semi-finals. Didn't play it too hard, didn't need to. Just enough to split them up.
7.
And he could well be off and away here.
Well, I think Neil should have shown a little bit more patience. There's a couple of shots that he's taken on in this frame. The first one he got away with. The second one it looks like he hasn't. Could have closed the shot.
$14. 15. 22. 23.
Now, is he going to cannon these 2 reds to just give them a little split? No, he's playing on the one on the cushion.
28.
It's frame and match ball. It's semi-final ball.
29.
And it's there.
He did the damage this afternoon. There was just too much to do for Neil this evening.
And the black and the split surely means 36. That the handshake cannot be far away.
37.
Yes, Neil, for my money, Mike in this frame twice pushed the boat out a little much. As you say, he got away with the first one, but not the second one when he attempted that very high-risk one into the left centre.
Yeah, but to be honest, I think the match was pretty much lost this afternoon, actually. Neil didn't perform, and Ronnie was superb. Although there was only 2 frames in it this evening coming in, but, you know, you'd expected Neil to come out all guns blazing, and unfortunately for him, it hasn't quite happened. But Ronnie's on fire here at the Crucible Theatre, and in my opinion, it's going to take some player to beat him this year.
Well, his next opponent will be Matthew Stevens, another highly experienced man, although he's never lifted the trophy. 57. He has been to the final twice.
59.
Yet another half-century from Ronnie. 3 of them converted into 3 figures.
59.
He's missed the green, but 59 more than enough. And Ronnie O'Sullivan has beaten Neil Robertson here by 13 frames to 10. No joy for the Australian this time, who lifted the title 2 years ago. Ronnie O'Sullivan goes into his 9th World Championship semi-final, where he will face Matthew Stevens over the best of 33 frames for a place in the final on Sunday and Monday. We'll head for a break, and then we'll pick up more from Ali Carter and Jamie Jones. Well, before we take our break, a quick look at the final statistics. The overall pot success, 92% for Ronnie, 89% for Neil. Not quite good enough, Neil, I'm afraid. Look at the total points and the balls potted, a huge gap there. Long pot success, Neil was actually slightly the better, and very little difference in the safety success. But in the end, 3 frames difference, 13 frames to 10. Ronnie's through. Ronnie versus Matthew Stevens, starting tomorrow.
You can reach me many ways. It don't matter how and when. Simply make the time for the best time of your life. Malaysia, truly Asia. It's the place with it all. The best time of your life. Malaysia, truly Asia.
Amongst Europe's legions of teenage footballers, these are the chosen ones. But now comes the big test. Now they have to perform on the international stage. Friday at 1400, the Under-17 European Championship from Slovenia on Eurosport.
This program is brought to you by Aspire Academy, inspired by Aspire.
Welcome back to the Crucible Theatre, snooker fans. Ronnie O'Sullivan through, to the delight of his many, many supporters. No joy for the Australian Neil Robertson, out at the hands of the Rocket, 13 frames to 10. Ronnie O'Sullivan versus Matthew Stevens then. That's the first of the semi-finals. Stephen Maguire awaiting either Ali Carter or Jamie Jones. Now, they'll be resuming their match in just a moment. Let's just, whilst we await them coming out again to resume to a finish, let's just spool the clock back a little and take a look at the 20th frame, the one immediately before the mid-session interval. It all began at 9-7 to Ali Carter at the beginning of play. He promptly made it 10-7 despite a half century by Jamie Jones. Jamie then made it 10-8. Ali took next to make it 11-8, and that's where we're picking up the match. As you can see, he's at the table 41 points ahead, hoping to get here within 1 frame of joining Stephen Maguire for that semi-final.
42. $43.
Ali started out this campaign with a fairly comfortable win over Mark Davis in the first round, 10 frames to 2. Jamie beat Sean Murphy in the first round, a terrific win on his Crucible debut, beating the former world champion 10-8. Then Ali had that wonderful confrontation with Judd Trump. What a match that was. 13-12, coming back from 12-9. Whilst Jamie Jones
49.
held his nerve very well against Andrew Higginson. Led him 10-6 at one time, but Andrew pulled back to 10.